Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to practice our handwriting. If you've been taking lessons with me, you've been practicing with this template book and blocks where you have used these blocks to form the letters, and then you've used your magic pencil to trace the letters. Now it's time to write them with your paper and pencil. So follow along as Miss Tiffany is going to lead us through how to make all of the lowercase letters of the alphabet. I hope that when I see you next, your handwriting has improved.
First, we're going to start with the letters that use magic C.
What's magic C?
You start just under the dotted line.
Just under the dotted line.
And then curve up and touch the dotted line.
Curve up and touch the dotted line.
Then curve down and touch the floor.
Okay, I'm touching the floor.
Now curve up just above the floor.
There we go, curving up just a little. Let me practice a few. I'm starting below the dotted line, and I curve up, touch the dotted line, curve around, touch the floor, and then curve up just a little. Students, are you practicing with me? Start below the dotted line, curve up, touch the dotted line, touch the floor, and curve up just a little. Let's make a row of magic C. Starting just below the dotted line, I'm going to curve up and touch it, making it nice and round. Touch the floor and curve up just a little bit. I always start below the dotted line. That helps me to make my magic C nice and round. There we go. Okay, I think I know how to make magic C. What letter are we going to make next?
Next, we're going to make the letter O.
Where do I start?
Start under the dotted line.
Okay, under the dotted line.
Then magic C and keep going to the top.
I start under the dotted line, magic C, and then keep going to the top. Oh, I can see why it's called magic C. It helps me make other letters.
That's right.
Start under, make magic C, and keep going to the top. Start under the dotted line, make a magic C, and keep going to the top.
Next, let's practice the letter A.
Where do I start?
Start under the dotted line. Magic C.
Oh, I know how to do this. I'm going to touch that dotted line, and I'm going to touch the floor.
Then helicopter up.
Helicopters go straight up.
And submarine down.
Submarines go straight down. Nice. I'll try it again. Starting just under the dotted line, I make a magic C, and then I helicopter up and submarine down. Magic C, helicopter up, submarine down. Are you practicing at home? Magic C, helicopter up, submarine down.
Good job.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to try the letter S.
Where do I start?
Start under the dotted line. And this time we're going to do a little magic C.
A little magic C.
And then turn it around.
And turn it around. Oh, I start just under the dotted line and I make a little magic C. There it is, little magic C. And then I turn it around and I make sure to touch the floor when I'm turning it around. Little magic C and turn it around as I'm touching the floor. Little magic C, turn around and touch the floor, and I just come up a little bit like the snake has a little bit of a tail at the end. Okay.
Next, we're going to do the letter G.
Where do I start?
Start under the dotted line.
Lots of letters start under the dotted line, don't they?
That's right.
Okay.
Magic C.
Oh, I know how to do that. Magic C.
Helicopter up.
Helicopter up.
Submarine to the basement.
Oh, I'm going to go way down to the basement.
And make a basket for the ball.
Oh, nice. There's the ball. Gee, isn't that clever? There's a basket for the ball in the letter G. Okay. I start under the dotted line. Magic C. Helicopter up. Submarine to the basement. Basket for the ball. Are you trying it at home? Magic C. Helicopter up. Submarine to the basement. Basket for the ball. One more time. Magic C. Helicopter up. Submarine to the basement. And make a basket for the ball.
I think you've got the hang of it.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to do the letter Q.
Where do I start?
Start under the dotted line. Magic C. Helicopter up. Submarine to the basement. And check mark.
Oh, I love making check marks. So I start under the dotted line, make my magic C, helicopter up, submarine to the basement, and then check mark. Magic C, helicopter up, submarine to the basement, check mark. That one's fun. Magic C, helicopter up, submarine to the basement, check mark.
All right, let's try the letter D.
The letter D. Where do I start?
Well, before we start, let me tell you something important about the letter D.
Okay.
First, you have to touch the doorknob, and then you can get to the door.
That makes sense. If I open a door, I always have to touch the doorknob first before I can get to the door.
Exactly. So, for the letter D, we're going to start under the dotted line. Magic C. Helicopter to the ceiling. And submarine to the floor.
Oh, that's a fun one. So I start under the dotted line. I make a nice big round magic C, and then I helicopter up, but this time I'm helicoptering all the way to the ceiling, and then submarine right back down to the floor.
That's right. Do you see the doorknob and the door?
Yes, I do. The magic C is the doorknob. There it is. So I make the doorknob first, and then the door. Oh, that makes it easy for me to understand the difference between a B and a D. For a D, doorknob, I make the doorknob first, and then comes the door. Magic C, helicopter up to the ceiling and down to the floor.
You got it.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to do the letter E.
The letter E. Where does it start?
The letter E starts between the dotted line and the floor.
Oh, that's different.
It is different.
It starts between the dotted line and the floor. So there's the dotted line, there's the floor. So if I go halfway in between, I put a little dot there. That's where I'm going to start. Now what do I do?
Draw a line.
Okay.
And make magic C and touch the E.
Okay, I drew a line. Now I'm going to come up and make my magic C. And as I come around, I'm going to touch the E where I started it and then curve up just a little. So let's see if I can do it again. I'm going to start in the middle between the dotted line and the floor. I'm going to draw a line, make magic C, and touch the E. And then I'm going to make sure I come back all the way down to the floor and curve it up a little, just like I always do with magic C. Draw a line, make magic C, and touch the E. Let me practice a few more times. Draw a line, make magic C, and touch the E. So I draw that line, and then when I make magic C, I touch the dotted line like I always do. Here I'm touching the E, and then I touch the floor and curve up just a little bit. I think I have it.
I think so too. Great job.
Thank you.
Now we're going to do something different. We're going to do the letters that start at the ceiling.
Oh, good.
First, we'll do the letter L.
Where do I start?
Start at the ceiling.
Ah, at the ceiling. Okay.
Submarine to the floor.
That's easy. I start at the ceiling and I submarine to the floor. I think the only thing that's hard about that is just trying to make it nice and straight. Straight and not crooked. So start at the ceiling and submarine to the floor. Start at the ceiling, submarine to the floor. Oh yes, I can do that. Submarine to the floor. That's easy.
Next, let's do the letter B.
Where do I start?
Well, before we start, let me tell you. First, you have to have your bat, and then you can hit your ball.
Okay.
For the letter B, start at the ceiling,
Yes.
then submarine down, helicopter up, and make a big round ball.
Big round ball. Oh, now I see why you told me that first you have your bat and then you can hit the ball.
That's right.
Because the bat comes first. Bat and ball. B, b, B. I start at the ceiling. I submarine down. I helicopter up just to the dotted line, and then I make a big round ball. When I make a big round ball, I helicopter up, and I want my ball to touch the dotted line, and I also want it to touch the floor. So it's going to take up the whole space. Submarine down, helicopter up, big round ball that takes up that whole space. That makes a nice B.
It sure does.
I wonder what letter comes next.
Well, next we're going to do the letter H.
Where do I start?
Start at the ceiling, submarine down, and do a big rainbow and touch the floor.
Oh, that's fun. I start at the ceiling, I submarine down, and then I make a big rainbow. My rainbow is going to touch the dotted line, I can see that, and it ends at the floor. Start at the ceiling, submarine down, big rainbow, touch the floor. One more time. Start at the ceiling, submarine down, big rainbow, touch the floor. I think often students forget that the letter H needs to start at the ceiling, and so it's not tall enough. And then it can get mixed up with the letter N. But if I started at the ceiling, and then I know that my rainbow just touches the dotted line, well, there we go. That makes it look like an H.
Great job with the letter H.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to do the letter T.
All right.
Start at the ceiling, submarine to the floor. Now lift up your pencil and cross from left to right.
Okay, so I start at the ceiling, I submarine to the floor, then I lift up my pencil and I cross from left to right. Start at the ceiling, submarine to the floor, lift up my pencil and cross from left to right. Start at the ceiling, submarine to the floor, lift up my pencil and cross from left to right. Okay.
Now we'll do the letter K.
K has always been a hard letter for me. How do I make the K?
Well, you're going to start at the ceiling, submarine down, then lift up your pencil and bring it to the dotted line. Then bring it in and kick it out.
Oh, I see. I'm going to start at the ceiling, submarine down, and then I lift my pencil to the dotted line. I'm going to bring it in right about halfway. Oopsie, it slipped. I bring it in halfway and I kick it out, and when I kick it out, I touch the floor. That kind of looks like a sideways V, doesn't it? Start at the ceiling, submarine down, lift up my pencil to the dotted line, bring it in and kick it out, and I'm going to end right there on the floor. I think I need to practice that one a little bit more because it's a difficult letter. I'm going to start at the ceiling, submarine down, lift up my pencil to the dotted line, and then I'm going to go halfway in as I bring it in, and then I'm going to kick it out and end up on the floor. Start at the ceiling, submarine down, lift up my pencil to the dotted line, bring it in, kick it out. One more time. Submarine down, lift up my pencil to the dotted line, bring it in, kick it out. Thank you, Tiffany. You made making the letter K easy for me.
You did a great job with it.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to do the letter F.
Where does it start?
It starts under the ceiling.
Oh, that's different. Under the ceiling.
Curve up and touch the ceiling. Then submarine to the floor. Lift up your pencil and cross from left to right.
Let me practice that. I start under the ceiling. Curve up, touch the ceiling, submarine to the floor. Lift up my pencil, cross from left to right. Let's see if I can make it a little straighter this time. I'm going to start under the ceiling, then I'll curve up, touch the ceiling, submarine to the floor, lift up my pencil, cross from left to right. Curve up, touch the ceiling, submarine, straight down to the floor. Lift up my pencil, cross from left to right. Curve up, touch the ceiling, submarine to the floor, lift up, cross from left to right. Curve up, touch the ceiling, submarine to the floor, cross from left to right. There, I think it's getting better. Curve up, touch the ceiling, submarine to the floor, lift my pencil and cross from left to right. The letter F.
Good job. Now we're going to work on some letters that start at the dotted line. First, let's do the letter I.
Oh, tell me again, where does it start?
At the dotted line.
At the dotted line. Okay.
Submarine down. Then pick up your pencil and put a cloud in the sky.
Oh, I like to do that. Start at the dotted line, submarine down, cloud in the sky. Start at the dotted line, submarine down, cloud in the sky. Submarine down, cloud in the sky. Submarine down, cloud in the sky. As long as I start on the dotted line, I'll be okay. Submarine down, cloud in the sky. Miss Tiffany, if I'm putting the cloud in the sky, can I put it right on top of the dotted line?
Oh, no. We don't want our eyes to look like ice cream cones.
Oh. I'd like to eat an ice cream cone, but I don't want my letter I to look like one.
That's right.
Okay, so I'll make sure there's a space there.
Good job with the letter I. Next, we'll work on the letter U. Can you guess where this one starts?
No, where does it start?
At the dotted line.
Ah.
Now submarine down and U-turn back around and submarine down.
Oh. I start at the dotted line. I submarine down and I make a U-turn. That means to turn around and go back to where you started. And then I submarine down again and end at the floor. That's right, I end at the floor. Okay, so I start at the dotted line, submarine down, U-turn back around, and then submarine down. Submarine down, U-turn back around, and submarine down. That's kind of fun. Submarine down, U-turn back around, submarine down, and end at the floor. Okay.
Now we'll work on the letter J.
Where do I start?
At the dotted line.
All right.
Submarine to the basement.
Oh, I'm going to start at the dotted line, but I'm going to submarine all the way down to the basement.
That's right.
That's past the floor.
Now curve it.
Okay.
And put a cloud in the sky.
Another cloud in the sky. Okay, so I start at the dotted line. I submarine down to the basement. Curve it. Cloud in the sky. Start at the dotted line. Submarine to the basement. Curve it. Cloud in the sky. Starting at the dotted line, I'm going to submarine to the basement. Curve it. Cloud in the sky.
Now let's try the letter P.
Where does the letter P start?
At the dotted line.
All right.
Submarine to the basement.
Let's see, I'm going to start right here. Okay, I'm at the dotted line. I submarine to the basement.
Helicopter up.
Helicopter goes straight up.
And make a big round ball.
A big round ball, just like in the letter B. A big round ball. Okay, so I start at the dotted line. I submarine to the basement. And then I helicopter straight up. And a big round ball that touches the dotted line and it touches the floor so it's nice and round. It's going to take up the whole space, isn't it? Submarine to the basement, helicopter up, big round ball. Starting at the dotted line, submarine to the basement, helicopter up, big round ball. Notice how my big round ball touched the dotted line and it touched the floor, so it's taking up the whole space. I'll do it one more time. Starting at the dotted line, submarine to the basement, helicopter up, big round ball. The letter P.
Beautiful. Now we'll do the letter R.
Where do I start the letter R?
You are going to start at the dotted line.
All right.
Now submarine down, helicopter up, and rainbow touch the dotted line.
Starting at the dotted line, I submarine down, I helicopter it back up, and then I'm going to make a rainbow that touches that dotted line. Just a little rainbow. Submarine down, helicopter up, and then a little rainbow that touches the dotted line. Okay? Start at the dotted line, submarine down, helicopter up, rainbow touch the dotted line. Start at the dotted line, submarine down, helicopter up, rainbow touch the dotted line. I think I've got it.
I think so too. Let's try the letter N.
Where does the letter N start?
At the dotted line.
Okay, I'm at the dotted line.
Submarine down, and big rainbow touch the floor.
Big rainbow. Okay, so I start at the dotted line, I submarine down, and then I'm going to make a big rainbow. I'm going to slide it back up that same line, and then rainbow. I'm touching the dotted line, and I'm coming back and touching the floor. Let me do that again. So I start at the dotted line, and I submarine down. Then I'm making a big rainbow, and I want to slide back up that same line, and then I'm going to rainbow and touch the floor. Starting at the dotted line, submarine down, big rainbow, touch the floor. It's easy if I remember that when I submarine down and I'm making my rainbow, I'm going to start by going back up that same line and end at the floor. There we go. What letter are we going to make next?
Now we're going to do the letter M.
Okay. Where do I start?
Start at the dotted line.
All right. I'm going to start at the dotted line.
Submarine down. Big rainbow touch the floor. And big rainbow touch the floor again.
Oh, I see. It's similar to making the letter N. I submarine down, and I'm going back up that path. I'm going to make a big rainbow, touch the floor. That's my N. And I just do it again. Big rainbow, touch the floor. I notice that when I make my big rainbow, that I want a rainbow and touch that dotted line. Touch the floor, touch the dotted line, touch the floor. So I start at the dotted line, submarine down, big rainbow, and I'm touching the dotted line when I rainbow, touch the floor, big rainbow, touching that dotted line, touch the floor. One more time. I'm going to start at the dotted line, submarine down, big rainbow, touch the floor, big rainbow, touch the floor.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Now we're going to work on the letters that start at the dotted line and slide. Let's try the letter Z.
Okay.
Start at the dotted line, draw a line, slide down to the floor, and draw a line.
I like to play on the playground and slide down the slide. So when you say slide, I know what you mean. Slides go at an angle. They don't go straight up and down or sideways. So we're going to start at the dotted line. I'm going to draw a line. So that's going to be right along that dotted line. I'm making my line there. Then I'm going to slide down in the other direction, slide it down to the floor, and then draw a line. I notice when I'm making the Z, I draw a line, slide down to the floor, and as I'm sliding, I want to end up right about where I started. So if I kind of make a little line here, I started here, made a line. When I slide, I want to end up right underneath the place where I started. And then I slide back, I draw a line on the floor. So I'm going to start at the dotted line, draw a line, slide down to the floor, and draw a line.
That's right.
Draw a line, slide down to the floor, draw a line.
All right. Now that you have the hang of the letter Z, let's try the letter V.
Okay. Where do I start?
Start at the dotted line.
Okay.
Slide down to the floor.
Slide.
And climb back up.
Oh, yes, that's right. Sometimes when I'm playing on the playground, I like to slide down the slide, but the duty person tells me I'm not supposed to climb back up. But I guess it's okay if I'm making the letter V, right?
That's right.
Okay. I'll start at the dotted line. I'll slide down to the floor and climb back up. And when I climb back up, I end at the dotted line, right where I started. Start at the dotted line, slide down to the floor, and climb back up to the dotted line. Slide down to the floor, climb up, slide down to the floor, climb up.
Just a few more letters left now. Let's do the letter W.
Where do I start?
Start at the dotted line. Slide down to the floor, climb back up, slide down, and climb back up again.
Oh, that's like making two V's, isn't it?
It sure is.
I start at the dotted line, I slide down to the floor, climb up, slide down to the floor again, and climb up. I start at the dotted line, slide down to the floor, climb up, slide down, climb up. Are you doing it at home with us? Start at the dotted line, slide down to the floor, climb up, slide down, climb up. The letter W.
Now let's do the letter X.
Where do I start?
Start at the dotted line.
Okay, I'm at the dotted line.
Slide down to the floor.
All right.
Now lift your pencil
Lifting my pencil.
and put it at the dotted line.
Okay.
Now slide down the other way.
Oh, that's easy. So I start at the dotted line and I slide down to the floor. And then I lift my pencil and I'm just going to go right straight up. I'm going to lift it up to the dotted line, straight up. And then I slide down the other way. And I try to make the ending and starting points match. So if I'm starting and sliding down, I'm going to lift my pencil there, slide down, and try and end right under where I started. I start at the dotted line, slide down to the floor, lift my pencil to the dotted line, slide down the other way. Slide down to the floor, lift my pencil to the dotted line, slide down the other way. Nice.
All right, it's time for our last letter.
I wonder what letter that is.
Only one letter left, and it's the letter Y.
Oh, sometimes Y is difficult for me. Where do I start?
Start at the dotted line.
Okay.
Now slide down to the floor. Lift your pencil up to that dotted line and slide all the way down to the basement.
Oh, that made it easy. So I start at the dotted line and I slide to the floor. Then I lift my pencil to the dotted line and I slide down to the basement. And I notice that when I'm going to make that slide, I want to just bump the end, just the tip of that first slide that I made. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to bump that end of that slide and then go all the way down to the basement. Let me try that again. So I start at the dotted line. I'm going to slide to the floor. I'm going to lift my pencil to the dotted line. And now I'm going to slide to the basement, and I'm just going to touch that line on my way down. Oh, that really makes a nice Y. Let me practice a few more. Starting at the dotted line, I'm going to slide down to the floor, lift my pencil to the dotted line, and then I'm going to slide to the basement, and I'm just going to touch that edge of that line. Here we go. Slide down to the floor, lift my pencil to the dotted line, slide down to the basement. Slide down to the floor, lift my pencil to the dotted line, slide down to the basement.
Wow, you sure did a great job.
Thank you. Now I think I can write the entire alphabet. Good job practicing all of those letters. I look forward to seeing you at your next lesson. And when you're writing, I'm going to say, "Wow, that looks like a teacher's writing." Keep practicing, and I'll see you at your next lesson.